Hi everybody, I am P. Sudhakar, lecturer in botany, Government Degree College, Kambam, Prakasam district. Today, I am going to speak about DNA as genetic material. Mendel, father of genetics, while carrying experiments on inheritance, he stated that some factors are there. These factors carry genetic information from parents to progeny. But the physical nature of that factors he couldn't know. Later on, the theory of chromosomal inheritance proposed, in which the Mendelian factors are present in chromosomes. The chemical analysis of chromosomes reveals that the presence of proteins and DNA. So, according to theory of chromosomal inheritance, either proteins or DNA might be genetic material. So, regarding with this, some scientists postulated that proteins are macromolecules, they are larger molecules enough to carry genetic information. But later on, it was proved that not proteins, but DNA is genetic material which carrying genetic information from generation to generation. Different experiments were carried by different scientists in order to prove the DNA as genetic material. The first experiment carried by Griffith carried experiments, that is a transformation experiments. So Griffith, the scientist, he used a bacterium called Streptococcus pneumonia. This Streptococcus pneumonia causes to pneumonia disease in mammals. So he used mice for his experiments. In Streptococcus pneumonia, Griffith found two kinds of strains. They are R2 strain and S3 strain. Here R means rough, S means smooth. The S bacteria are smooth because presence of a capsule which is made up of polysaccharide. So around S bacterium there is a smooth coat called capsule which is made up of polysaccharide. Due to presence of this capsule, antibodies cannot recognize this bacterium. As a result, this bacterium remain alive in the host cell and will multiply and causes to pneumonia disease. Hence, this bacterium is called as virulent bacteria. Whereas R2 bacteria, they do not possess any capsule around it. Hence, they are rough in nature. These bacteria cannot survive in the host cell, as there is no capsule in this bacteria. The bacteria can be recognized by antibodies of the host. As a result, the bacteria cannot survive in the host. They undergo death, do not cause any disease. Hence, these are called avirulent bacteria. So, Griffith utilized both virulent bacteria and avirulent bacteria. Virulent S3 bacteria, avirulent R2 strain he used for his experiments. So he carried a series of experiments by using these two bacteria. In the first case, in the first experiment, he injected S3 virulent bacteria to mice. In mice, the S3 bacteria multiplied, causes to pneumonia disease. The mice undergo death. Autopsy of mice revealed that the presence of S3 bacteria in mice dead body. In the second experiment, Griffith injected living R2 bacteria to mice. The R2 bacteria do not survive in mice, causes to no disease, hence the mice remain alive. In these mice, no S3 bacteria recovered, means S3 bacteria not injected, S3 bacteria not recovered. In the third experiment, Griffith killed S3 bacteria by using heat, said to be heat killed S3 bacteria. These heat killed S3 bacteria injected to mice. So in mice, as there are no active S3 bacteria, there are no living S3 bacteria, the mice remain alive. So the autopsy of mice do not reveal any presence of any S3 bacteria. S3 bacteria not recovered. So from three experiments, it can be concluded that both R2 living bacterium and heat killed S3 bacterium both do not cause us to any disease. Okay, in the fourth experiment, Griffith heat killed S3 bacteria injected to mice along with R2 living bacteria. So heat killed S3 bacterium and living R2 bacteria both are injected to mice. According to our expectation, as R2 itself not causes to any pneumonia disease and heat killed S3 also not virulent, so the mixture of both should not be causes any disease, should not be causes to death of the mice. But in opposite to our expectations, the mice undergo death. Autopsy reveals that presence of S3 bacteria. So living S3 bacteria recovered from the mice. Though the living S3 bacteria not injected, but living S3 bacteria recovered from the mice. Griffith shocked about the result. He stated that the R2 bacterium is transformed into S3 bacterium. So the phenomena is called as transformation. Conversion of R2 bacterium into S3 bacterium. So R2 bacterium into S3 bacteria is called transformation. Griffith could not stated that the principle of transformation is not known. According to Griffith, some factor is there. The factor is principle of transformation, but he couldn't name that factor as it is protein or as it is DNA or as it is RNA. Later, three scientists named Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy. These three scientists, they carried experiments called enzymatic digestion and revealed that the principle of transformation. Okay, so they utilized different types of enzymes like proteases, RNases and DNases, like that. Proteases, they digest proteins. RNases digest RNA, whereas DNases digest DNA. Proteases are used to remove proteins from the solution. RNases used to remove RNA from solution. DNases are used to remove DNA from solution. So they also carried a series of experiments where in the first experiment the heat killed S3 bacterium, the solution is added with enzyme protease, so which removes proteins from the solution of heat killed S3 bacterium. Then the solution is injected to mice. The mice undergo death, means R2 bacterium transformed into S3 bacterium, means so the absence of proteins do not stopping the transformation. So the lack of proteins do not stopping the transformation, means the proteins are not a transformation principles. In the second experiment, the heat killed S3 bacterium solution is added with the second enzyme RNases, which remove RNA. Then the solution is injected to mice. The mice undergo death. The R2 is transformed into S3, means both the absence of proteins and absence of RNA do not stopping the transformation. So the proteins and RNA both are not genetic material. Later in the third experiment, these three scientists they treated heat killed S3 bacterium with DNases, which causes to digestion of DNA from the solution, removal of DNA from the solution. In this solution there is no DNA, so the solution is injected to mice. Here along with every experiment is carried with along with R2, the solution heat killed S3 solution injected along with R2, leaving R2. So in the third case also, heat killed S3 bacteria, which is treated with the DNases along with R2 bacteria injected to mice. The mice remain alive. Means there is no transformation taking place. No transformation. Transformation failed. Indicates that in the absence of DNA only, the transformation is failed. In the absence of protein, transformation taking place. In the presence of RNA, in the absence of RNA, transformation taking place. But in the absence of DNA, transformation failed. Indicating that the DNA is the only material causing for the transformation. So the DNA is the genetic material which is proved by Avery, MacLeod, McCarthy. So DNA is genetic material. DNA is the genetic material. So able to carry genetic information from parents to progeny. So this is a transformation. So the transformation principle was noticed by or discovered by these three scientists, Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy. Okay, this is the DNA as genetic material proved by three scientists, Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy. Okay, so later another scientist are also there, Hersey and Chase, by using bacteriophage. They also proved that the DNA is the genetic material. Let us see in the next session.